The hosts of bracketology are experts in nothing. They claim no advanced knowledge or profound insights. Instead, they are just three judgmental idiots who really like to bloviate their own opinions whenever given the chance. Take what they have to say with a grain of salt, or not at all. You'll probably be better off that way.
So somebody posed an interesting question to me, and by somebody I mean a random person on the internet in a video that I watched. But the question is this, fellas: if you could go to any world and steal any artifact and take it home, what would that be? But there's a caveat. That caveat is whomever you stole that artifact from knows that you have it and is coming to get it back. And if they did not already have the means to travel to your dimension, they do. But they will be nerfed by whatever artifact you stole. So, for example, you could go steal, Batman's utility belt. But then Batman knows that you have it, has access to your universe, and is actively coming after you to get it.
Why would Batman want, he could just buy a new utility belt?
I'm just using that.
But he doesn't want you to have it.
Yeah, he doesn't want you to have all of his bat secrets.
You think if you steal Batman's utility belt, he's not going to come for it? He's just going to be like, no, I could just order another one off Amazon.
No, he'll have a plan in place for if he needs it, but he doesn't need it right away. Also, that's not my answer.
I mean, I didn't figure as much, but
the TARDIS.
The TARDIS.
Ooh, that's a good answer.
But then you have Doctor Who coming after you.
With what?
With what means?
He can be in the universe.
So yeah, but I mean, he would still have all of his other weapons at his disposal.
He's got a sonic screwdriver. I'm good, bro. All right. All I need to do is just get in the TARDIS and just hop around every day. I'll be fine. Fucking win. Mic drop.
Damn, I'm mad you answered first because I don't know if there's a better answer, honestly. I mean, you leave the universe or even just the planet he's in, he doesn't have any means of coming after you.
I mean, the Gallifreyans have other ships, right? But most of them are destroyed, or dysfunctional in some way. So realistic, even if he does chase me, I have a way to get away.
I have to imagine the TARDIS has some kind of biosignature recall capability, something to that effect, where he'd be able to get it back pretty easily. Excuse me,
I think Alien? At the very least, he would be impressed that I was able to take it from him and then ask me to join him on his missions.
So you're playing this like a sitcom approach, kind of. Like you're endearing in the end.
An odd couple.
I mean...
Doctor Who and Matt.
Because there's also...
We're friends.
There's also plenty of instances where Doctor Who feels like he's been wronged and he gets pretty angry.
Yeah, but that's personally wronged.
You're stealing his TARDIS.
It's fine.
Dang. I was so busy thinking about how good that answer was, I didn't come up with one for my own.
I'll throw one out there that I'm surprised Matt didn't use, but a Green Lantern ring. Go into the DC universe, pick it off of Hal Jordan, go home, and then if he does come after you, you've got the Green Lantern ring, and he's just a normal dude.
Yeah, but here's the thing. He's a fucking Air Force pilot. If he can knock me out with one swing. In addition, there are fucking 6,400 other Green Lanterns that can come with him.
But it would only be Hal Jordan coming to get you.
You're telling me that he wouldn't turn to any of the 7 other Earth Lanterns and say, hey, we got to go fuck this guy up, let alone Kilowog or any of the other... Look, before I nerd out too much as I would love to have, I also just don't have that much willpower. Yeah. It's really what I don't know that I'd be able to use a Green Lantern ring.
I wouldn't be able to wear my shirt that I'm currently wearing if I had a Green Lantern ring. It'd be like a weakness for me. It would take me down.
You'd have to overcome fear and then you could wear that shirt. But I don't know why you wear that shirt anyway.
Because it's just good. It's, what does it say? No bad vibes. I couldn't remember if it was no. Anyway. And it's got
What does
Rafiki on
say?
it. It says,
Only
look,
some bad vibes.
It says, no bad vibes. And it's got Rafiki meditating. That's why I wear this shirt. Come on, man.
I mean, the problem is I can't see your shirt because my internet has frozen. Oh, there we go. It's better now.
Okay. Dang it. I thought of an answer and then I got distracted by my shirt.
How Jordan would whip your ass. Like, first of all,
Not if
Like,
I
I
had
think-
the Green Lantern ring.
I think this operates under the assumption that you're able to steal whatever it is you're trying to steal, which does admittedly seem like a stretch. I would probably go back. I would probably steal one of the Power Rangers Megazord. Like, I'd
And just the Zord?
no. I mean, I'd become a Power Ranger. Like, I'd steal the belt buckle, and I'd
become a teen with attitude?
yeah, absolutely. And I would summon in my. I feel like Pterodactyl would be pretty cool, just to be able to fly and everything. But like,
The
have a
Blazer
giant,
Zord.
and yeah, I'd fly around in my pterodactyl robot as a Power Ranger, probably.
But then you would have the rest of the Power Rangers coming after you.
also, you'd be the Pink Ranger. You'd have a little skirt. I'm not saying you can't or shouldn't. I just don't think you personally would look that good in a skirt.
I think
And
what
I've
I do.
seen you in a Power Ranger onesie. I don't want to see it again.
I think what I do on my Tuesday nights is nobody else's business.
You might be right, but yeah, I guess if you're gonna, I don't know, man, that's terrifying. I do like the idea of just stealing the Zord though, and it's just powered down the whole time, but like hanging out in
You
your
can't do anything
backyard.
with it.
You can't do anything with it. You can go inside of it, but like only to the foot because you can't jump up into the entrance.
Yeah, because you don't have the powers of the Power
I
Ranger.
own a ladder.
It would be a big
It's
ass
fucking
ladder, bro.
huge, dude. That's like 100-story foot pterodactyl. 100-story foot, 100-story tall.
Are you okay?
100 feet stories.
I'm having a heat stroke.
Hello and welcome back to Bracketology, the podcast that definitively decides all things tournament bracket style. I measure my penis by its character. I'm Scott Grubb.
It's
fuck
also
are you
3
supposed
Tic Tacs.
Bringing it back to candy.
I am like Pop Rocks, explosive, unstable, and delicious. Matt Robinson.
All in your mouth.
And I am the life of every saver. Dan Default.
This week, we have done it. We have reached the finale of chocolate versus candy. Today, we will determine the best chocolate, we'll determine the best candy, and then we will pit them against each other to determine the best sweet treat. Gentlemen, Dan, are you okay?
No.
You have not recovered.
Nobody got me, bro.
Just so everybody's aware, Scott's a little tired. He's been up since, I don't know, for like the last 38 hours,
Dude.
just thinking of that opening.
Let me tell you, man. It was a rough night last night. My daughter woke up like 11-ish, stayed up till midnight, and then almost had a temper tantrum trying to go get her back to bed. Then
You or her.
Oh, yes. First her, then me. Then my wife had a headache. She was having trouble getting to sleep. And then I kid you not, like it's like 1:15. My daughter's finally calmed down. She's completely out. She's been on my right arm the whole time. I have to put my CPAP mask on still because I'm an old man who will die in his sleep. And I can't get my right arm out. So I have to use my left arm to put it on one-handed. And then finally, like 1:20, I'm like all situated, ready to go to sleep. And I hear the loudest, most obnoxious hiccup I've ever fucking heard in my life. And then another one. And then another one. And then I hear my wife trying to hold her breath and trying to hold in the hiccup. And instead, it's just shaking the whole bed. And I started laughing at this point because we've all had such trouble sleeping and was like, we're all doomed in our own way. And then the universe was like, oh, here's the cherry on top. We're just going to disturb everyone. It was hilarious.
Here's an evolutionary fault in humanity.
Exactly. You're going to have a glitch in your internal matrix and it's going to keep everyone up. I am so tired. What are we talking about? Sugar. Hey, perfect. We're talking about sugar. Where should we start, guys?
Well, the real question is, should we just skip this round and go straight to the finale? Because I feel like there's an easy matchup for the finale.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
We just get rid of the semifinals and we just go straight to the finals. No?
How? That doesn't physics.
I'll just remove 2 of the candies and we'll just go straight into
you're saying you just know how the semifinals are going to go?
I'm quite certain.
You're quite certain. All right. Well,
Let's test that theory.
Let's start on the chocolate side.
All right. So we've talked about
Hold on.
Reese's.
You want to okay. Oh. Read it out.
We've talked about
No. Dan cannot read it out. Not the chocolate side. Not unless he promises, he commits to doing it correctly.
I don't know how I could do it incorrectly because we are looking at Reese's.
You son of a bitch.
No.
I swear I'm going to come through this fucking Ethernet cable and punch you in your giant nose.
Easy for his penis, not for the rest of them.
Reese's Pieces.
Not Reese's Pieces, just Reese's.
Reese's versus Kit Kat.
Oh,
I would have had it if you guys hadn't interrupted me.
No, you wouldn't have had it. If you go back and listen to the tape, which you will, because you'll listen to this episode when it comes out, you will note that I actually interrupted you a moment after you had already said it once. And that moment, you were also incorrect in how you pronounced it.
All right. So who are you all choosing between Reese's Pieces and Reese's Candy and Kit Kat?
While
the pieces breaking you off a piece of that Kit Kat bar?
While the pieces are a part of the Reese's. That's it really does bother me because you don't even say pieces like that. It's not pieces. Like nobody says that. That's ridiculous.
I could say it.
But it's incorrect.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Could you share some pieces of that candy that you're eating?
I don't know what that word is. That word doesn't make any sense to me. Are you speaking a different language? Latin, perhaps?
Hold on. Now you're implying that you don't understand context clues, which is a whole different problem. I think you could figure it out. And then judge him for saying it as stupidly as he does.
Look, Kit Kat is the last surviving cannibalistic candy.
Cannibalistic?
On this bracket.
Do they eat themselves in the commercials?
Yeah, the Kit Kats.
Not the commercials, but parts of the insides of the Kit Kat are failed Kit Kats.
I recall that conversation
right?
now. Yes.
It's like when a goose has babies. And eats the children. It's the same idea. This one's failed. It swallows and then it tries again later. Kit Kats are the same as geese, is basically what I'm saying. And that's important. That's important to the argument here.
Yeah. They're very territorial.
I've lost my thread.
I was trying to help.
I can tell you that nobody has ever gotten a Kit Kat egg and put it on my desk.
Well, for now.
For the bracketeer that's listening, I still remember.
That definitely helps the podcast format, making a single targeted individual
comment. Hold on. Does this help at all? Get fucked. The most inside joke.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Look, both of these candies are good. Both of these chocolates can be
I would
delicious.
certainly hope so. They're the last 2 chocolates.
That's what I'm saying. But one of these is not like the other.
Also true.
Rest my case.
I don't think that argument works when it's only two things. Like,
So
it has to be three or more.
They're both good, and they are not similar, is what Matt said. And rest my case.
I think it has to be three or more for that argument to work. But I appreciate the attempt. I think what you mean to say is that these are both delicious candies that I would be happy to have in my mouth hole at any point in time. However, one of them is delicious and the other is Reese's, which is most deliciouser, scientifically speaking.
You basically just read the transcript.
Yes. Yeah, just repeated word for word on beat what you said.
I do love Kit Kat. Don't get me wrong, but it isn't Reese's. Reese's is, again, and I said this a couple weeks ago, peanut butter is my least, maybe last week? 2 weeks ago? I said this recently.
It's been so long since we recorded.
Peanut butter is, I don't like peanut butter, generally speaking. That is a blanket statement with very, very few exceptions. Reese's is one of those exceptions. Not just one of, probably the number one exception to that rule. It's so good. And it's one of those things that, like, even if you don't want chocolate, if someone's like, yeah, but come on, have a Reese's, you're going to eat a Reese's.
Yeah.
As good as the jingle is for Kit Kat, it can't stand up. It has no tool to use in its arsenal against the behemoth that is Reese's.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. I was doing a little research there because I was curious about just
while he was not listening to you.
Actual sales. I was listening. It's a behemoth. In 2017, the U.S. in the as measured by convenience store sales, Reese's was the largest confection by far, 62% larger than second place. That's a huge margin for them to own that segment in. More households purchasing Reese's products than any other confection brand across the United States.
What is considered in the confection?
I don't know. I'm not sure. But it does own 6 of the top 20 chocolate or candy selling items in convenience stores. The Reese's brand is responsible for 6 out of 20. That's crazy. I mean, yeah, I think the numbers speak for themselves. Kit Kat is delicious. Don't get me wrong. If I reach into a bowl and I pull out a Kit Kat, I'm going to be happy.
Yeah, I'm going to go down on Kit Kat, but...
Whoa.
You're going to take home Reese's.
Mm-hmm.
Take Reese's home to meet Mom.
I mean...
And then tongue it later.
Dan, do you have thoughts here?
I mean, I'm thoroughly disgusted, but...
Okay, yeah.
Outside of that, I do think that there is a clear winner here. I want to give Kit Kat all the flowers in the world because I personally love Kit Kats. Have you ever seen somebody like open a Kit Kat and just like take a bite out of the top of all 4 pieces of Kit Kat?
Yeah.
Wait, like individually, like 4 little nibbles, or like just chomp,
one big,
like a big chomp.
Yeah,
yeah. I've been that person before, I believe.
Oh, you heathen!
It does track. I think I've seen Scott do that. Now, so Reese's is moving on. It sounds like, right? Official votes.
My vote's Reese's for sure. Yeah.
So before we move away from the chocolate side, what is happening? Before we move completely away from it, I think, and Kit Kat, if you're listening. And we know that you are.
We know you are.
Yeah. I think what could have helped here is an updated marketing campaign. You know, if you'd like to change our minds, we're for hire.
Absolutely.
Throwing that out there.
This vote could have been bought by delicious Kit Kat bars.
We're happy to go back and retroactively re-record this episode, re-release it.
We will make an updated bracket.
Then gaslight the rest of the universe that this never happened.
It never occurred.
We always.
What you were thinking of was the Mandela effect. That episode never happened.
And
Kit
in
Kat
fact,
was always the winner.
It's actually now it's always been called the Mandela effect, and you're just imagining the Mandela effect.
Yeah, send us a pallet of Kit Kats and we can talk.
We could talk. All right, so then let's go over to the candy side, the non-chocolate side, with Skittles versus the Lifesavers. And again, I think there's an easy winner here, boys.
I do want to throw out a little bit of an update. So the last episode, you all informed me that you could get the mint and crack them in the dark and they would show electricity.
That is true.
I ordered a big bag of mints that night while we were recording. And late one night, I'm in the bathroom. All the lights are off. And I'm crunching and giggling in the bathroom. And Kristen's like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I'm doing research for the podcast.
And then just...
And then go right back to crunch giggles.
What? So you saw it. You saw the lightning. I think I mentioned this, right? Lifesavers, specifically the Winto Green Lifesavers, do give you magic powers. They're very, very limited magic powers, but they are magic powers. But
and eating 20 of them and laughing does not extend the magic powers.
Very short-lived, no matter what. But it
does give you diabetes.
They're not Skittles. And Skittles are fucking great, y'all. Like, look, let's be real. Okay, we're going to get down to brass tacks. There have been some potentially questionable decisions made in this bracket.
Pez over gummy bears.
We don't have to
over
name
Starburst.
Anything. One thing that's not in question in any way, Skittles deserves to be in the finals. If we take Lifesavers to the finals against Reese's, that is absolute garbage. That's horseshit.
Did you forget about gummy Lifesavers?
Did you not know about gummy Skittles?
Gummy Lifesavers are significantly better. Significantly.
Tropical Skittles, wild berry Skittles, the mixed bag, the regular Skittles. You get the gummy Skittles. Skittles have it. Sour Skittles, if you're a sour head.
Lifesavers also has regular and wild berry and 2-in-1 flavors and mint green, the wintergreen. It has gummies, which are better than the Skittles gummies. It has neon gummies. It has the wild berry gummies. It also has, for the old people out there, a butter rum flavor, which, you know what? Throw me in the boat with the old people because I think it's delicious too. I don't think this one is as clear cut as the chocolate side was.
And
I think Lifesavers is a contender here.
Look, Lifesavers came through this bracket swinging.
Swinging through chalk. Its first matchup was against Smarties.
And its second matchup was against Pez, which you all thought was better than gummy bears.
Yeah, stand by that.
All I'm saying, if you go to the store and there's a box of Lifesavers and there's a box of Skittles,
if
9 times out of 10, no. They're just base. Let's just say base. Just
so for this specific argument.
For this specific thing that I'm talking about, that I am bringing up.
To prove your point.
I don't know that it does.
Yeah, I don't think it does either. Because if you're just talking about the regular Skittles, like regular red bag Skittles, no. I'm not a fan of the regular Skittles. Yes to the tropical, but regular? No, I'm taking the Lifesavers.
Yeah, if there's literally only the two options, I think I'm probably going to pick the Lifesavers over a bag of regular Skittles too.
You both are insane. I don't believe that. I've never, ever have. If you aren't constantly eating Lifesavers from now on, I'm going to call bullshit on this forever.
I mean, I have what feels like an infinite bag of Wintergreen Lifesavers, my
I'm
guy.
not constantly eating Skittles. Why do I have to suddenly uptick my Lifesaver intake in order to please you?
Because I said so. But here's the thing. You can't just, you got to take the whole thing into account, right? This is what we've decided. Every variation, every
permutation.
Every mutation. The Skittles lentils, man. Like, Lifesavers don't come in lentil form.
No, they come in a fun little hole form so you can blow through them. Or
No,
you do your tongue out of them.
No. They come in the cool little hole form so you don't choke on it because you're a child.
Which is also good. Skittles could kill somebody. Skittles out here killing babies.
Nobody's esophagus is the size of a lentil.
Babies.
Babies are malleable.
What? Their throats aren't. Not when there's a Skittle lodged in it.
So Matt's answer, if a baby's choking on a Skittle, just throw it against something. It'll pop it out.
They bounce right back.
First of all, I am CPR certified, okay? I know how to hit a baby. Legally.
All right. Do we think we have a vote here?
I mean, Skittles. That's my vote. That's the answer.
I'm going Lifesavers.
Fuck.
Dude, the gummy savers, dog. Like, so hard to beat. And the Wintergreen, when you combine those two powerhouses, I don't think there's... Well, not eat them at the same time, but when you take both of them into account for this competitor, I don't think Skittles has anything that can beat both of those things.
The freeze-dried Skittles? Sorry, I hiccuped halfway through that.
You could probably freeze-dry Lifesavers.
Okay.
Maybe. Man, I think that I'm gonna have to. It sucks because, like, we've spent this entire bracket pissing Dan off, and now I think he's gonna get satisfaction, and it makes me sad because I really don't want to give it to him. But, like, I'm looking at both, and if I'm being quite honest, as I really look through the Skittles lineup of offerings, I might start leaning into the conclusion that Skittles are just overrated in general. But that's maybe that's too bold of a swing. They're not. Maybe I just really like Lifesavers more, and so it's making the Skittles look like poop. But Lifesavers gummies, man, the traditional hard candies, and then like Wintergreen mints are pivotal. Like, I'm sure the numbers would probably tell us differently for this one, but fuck them numbers. I think I'm gonna have to vote Lifesavers. That whole repertoire.
I am very disappointed in both of you, while also proud because you finally have figured out what this podcast is about.
You know, it's all about a strength in it, right? Like, how strong am I in my conviction personally versus the majority?
So most of the time your conviction is dog shit?
Yeah. I think very little of myself. So yeah, absolutely. But this time I know I'm right. So yeah, it's Lifesavers. God, now I want some of those gummies.
Yeah. I'm sitting here dreaming of Lifesaver gummies.
Which could possibly... What?
No, go ahead.
Which could possibly influence us when it comes to our final matchup here.
You two better bring 16 pounds of Lifesaver gummies camping.
Just to prove how much we really love Lifesavers.
That's it. That's the only way that I will accept this.
I'm going to bring a whole duffel bag of candy. I'm going to raid a Walmart. People are going to be like, it's not Halloween yet. What is that guy doing?
Where did he get a 17-pound bag of...
And all of that candy is going to make you real sleepy.
I'm going to have a super, super crazy sugar high for about 4.5 minutes, and I'm going to crash hard.
And then Dan's going to be at your bedside just being like, the sun's going down, big guy. The sun's going down.
Real slow.
All right. What's our finale, Scott?
Our finale, we're pitting the best chocolate versus the best candy. We have Reese's versus Lifesavers. Bum, bum, bum.
So when you look at the Reese's, they have a bunch of different offerings. They have the pieces, they have the cups, they have the animal shapes, they have the eggs.
Footballs, Christmas trees, sticks, power bars.
I said shapes, bro.
Animals? Shape?
Yeah.
Animal?
Yeah.
Like other than the rabbit?
Yeah.
Is rabbit not an animal for you?
It's the specific Easter one. What other animals do they have?
They have Reese's dipped animal crackers.
Yep.
Oh, good call. Okay.
Boom.
But the Lifesavers, on the other hand, again, we talked about it. The Winto Green, the Gummy Savers, the traditional hard candy.
Yeah, but Lifesavers only has one form factor. While they can be different textures, they're all just rings. You know what I mean? Whereas Reese's has a menagerie of different shapes and sizes.
But if it ain't broke.
Can you? I almost just died. Can you get a 5-pound Lifesaver? 2-pound?
If you could get a 2-pound or 5-pound gummy saver,
that's terrifying. That's the size of an
actual
Goodyear tire.
Lifesaver.
Yeah. So I'm on the Reese's website and I'm looking at all they have to offer, right? They've got the regular peanut butter cups, the chocolate lava big cup. They've got ones that are shaped like Olympic medals. They've got the jumbo, right? And I'm scrolling down. They have 0 sugar. They have plant-based. They have just a jar of Reese's peanut butter. I keep scrolling down and then I get to the bottom of the page and it says, show more products. You've seen 42 of 309. 309 Reese's products in here.
But only 6 of those made it to the top 20. So what does that tell you about the other 302?
Hey, Scattershot works, bro.
I mean, they've got the ice cream bars on here. I'm not exactly sure. I want to order those online.
What was the giant Reese's? Was it 5 pounds? Was it 2 pounds?
I think it was 2 pounds.
Was it 2 pounds?
Yeah, I think it was a 2-pound Reese's cup that you once... Wasn't I like your Secret Santa or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember, I also got you a like 10-pound bag of... it was both white chocolate and regular chocolate Reese's shapes.
You did. And I ate all of them. And now you're the reason for my diabetes. They have Reese's big cups with Reese's Puffs embedded in the peanut butter of the big cup.
We haven't even talked about Reese's Puffs.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Reese's Puffs.
Oh, look at that. Have you tried the Reese's snack cakes? Those are pretty good.
Yeah.
Dang, there are so many.
I feel like the tides have turned.
Yeah.
How the turntables have turned.
What is that? A layered dessert? It looks like it's in a pudding cup. Peanut butter flavored dessert with rich vanilla topping. See, this is what bothers me here.
The fact that you have to get that close to your monitor to read?
It's very tiny text that's turned at an angle. It says peanut butter flavored dessert. Okay, but like what? Like a dessert is not a thing, you know? Like it's not a food item, right?
It's not a culinary item.
Yeah, it's not like like somebody's not going to hand you a bowl and you'd be like, what is this? And they say dessert.
Dessert.
No, that's a course. That's not what you mean, right? So like you can't spray styrofoam with peanut butter flavoring and say it's dessert. So like, what am I eating? it's peanut butter flavored. Yeah, but peanut butter flavored what? What is it? That bothers me. It's not enough to vote against it, though. It's definitely Reese's. Oh my God, there's so many things. We didn't even talk about Puffs. We didn't talk about popped snack mix. We didn't talk about dipped pretzels, the ice cream cones, which I have some in my freezer right now.
Do you think there's any room for Lifesavers to stand on the Reese's?
Go ahead, Dan.
Look, Lifesavers deserves to be here, despite your arguments against it.
Hold on. Answer the question. Does it have room to stand against Reese's?
I think it does, just not very well. Look, I could have gotten into the ring with Mike Tyson in his prime. I wouldn't have lasted that long, but I could have done it.
You still wouldn't last long.
Yeah, I would last even less time now. I'm old and out of shape. But Lifesavers made it to the big match and gets knocked out in the first round. It was a valiant effort, but I think Reese's just has too much going for it.
I think the question, though, maybe I misunderstood, but correct me if I'm wrong, Matt. But I feel like the question is there any category or any quality or trait in which Lifesavers leads the way versus Reese's? Does it have any advantage? What is that?
Gummy and mint.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to eat a gummy Reese's, sure. But so flavor variety, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I think that Reese's doesn't have any mint that I'm aware of.
I think they've done mint chocolate, which is the worst kind of mint, by the way.
Yeah, exactly, sure. Which would be super gross. And they don't have any kind of gummy.
Which also would be disgusting, although, Reese's,
I would try it.
If you want to buy that idea, just let us know.
It's trademarked.
I don't think that's how that works. I would try it.
So we've got a winner then.
We do have a winner.
Yeah, it's Reese's.
Unanimously, chocolate has won the war in Candytopia.
Let's be honest with ourselves here. When we started this bracket, did we know that this is how it was going to end?
Well, that would be let me rephrase that question. Okay. Individually, if you all look at the right-hand side, at the candy side, is there any one item, on this bracket that could have stood to Reese's?
No. I mean, there's a reason why it's got 62% or it's a 62% lead over its number 2 in the market. I mean, no, there's just not.
Selfishly for me, I would say gummy bears, but gummy bears have a real nostalgia for me. Going down to Tennessee with my family, we would always stop at this really cool candy shop in Gatlinburg, and they had the best gummy bears. And honestly,
I did not know that sentence was done.
That was an abrupt end to that story. I was so uncomfortable.
I'm sorry.
It hit like a brick wall, just done.
Continue.
Like really nice, fresh gummy bears that haven't been sitting on the shelf for a really long time.
Fresh picked right off the gummy tree into the package and on the shelf.
And into my mouth. Those are really hard to beat for me.
And I think that the only thing that really stood a chance, in my eyes,
if you say Pez,
was Skittles.
Okay.
And so I don't think, Scott, to your point, I don't think I knew this is how it was going to end, but there was a strong suspicion.
Yeah. I just I think about most of my candy consumption is either just after a holiday and I'm stealing it out of my kids' bags and bowls, or it's movie. That's the only time I'm seeking out specifically what I want is if I go to a movie. I do think, not even think, I know, because we recently saw, what did we see? The Lilo and Stitch live action remake. And then what was the other one? saw something else too. But anyway, in both of those instances, I got Lifesavers gummies when I was at the movie theater. But the Reese's experience is such a short-lived one. It's not ideal for a movie. You know, the Lifesavers, you got a bunch of tiny pieces, you can stretch it out.
Well, and even if you have like a whole bag of like the mini cups of Reese's, like you don't want to eat 48 ounces of Reese's
Chocolate
peanut butter cups.
butter
In a
substance.
movie.
You don't want to.
In one movie.
Yeah. But Lifesavers works better in that scenario. However, given the option outside of that specific scenario, yeah, I think it was clear from the beginning it was probably going to be Reese's ending here.
All right.
I don't know if I could have predicted the candy side, but anyway. Cool. What do we got next, fellas?
America.
Fuck yeah. So
Most America.
next week, we will have the episode leading up to July 4th. We're going to help you with your July 4th celebrations by determining the most Americanist thing. And then you'll be able to celebrate that on Friday, July 4th. So as a service to you, you can thank us for our service. We're going to determine most Americanist next week.
Can we throw out just really quick? The views held by this individual are not that of the podcast, but likely similar.
Probably very much.
In celebrating America on the 4th of July, just want to say,
which is a tough pill to swallow these days.
It very much is. We just want to say a big hearty fuck you to 47.
Also in a lead up, be careful with fireworks. Keep all your fingers. All right. So yeah, we got that to look forward to. We want to thank Aaron O'Donnell from Aaron O'Donnell Music for the track you hear at the beginning and end of every episode. We want to thank you as a listener for sticking around through this nonsense and chicanery. We want to encourage you to interact with us on all the social medias. We're on the Facebooks. We're on Blue Sky. We're on TikTok. We're on Twitch from time to time. Bracketology _Matt, Bracketology _Scott. It's not even worth saying Dan's anymore. I don't think that monkey's ever going to get that square peg in that hole.
I got the name.
We're also
never Twitch.
You Twitch a lot. You just not online.
We're also on the Discord where we need to shout out. We do have a fan suggestion that we will be taking on in the future.
Absolutely.
We will release that information later, but there is a place for you if you've got ideas. Discord, let us know.
Discord, let us know. Absolutely. We did. We'll to clarify, the moment this suggestion came in, we had a side conversation that said, yeah, we definitely have to do that. We just have to determine when, but it was like an immediate, yep, we're doing that one. So thank you for that. Keep those coming in. I think that's everything. Not an episode. Ready to call it, fellas?
Yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, then I will continue to measure my penis by the content of its character. I'm Scott.
I am still explosive, delicious, and unexpected. That can't be
Unstable.
I don't remember
Unstable.
what it was.
Matt.
And I am still the life of every saver. Dan.
All right. Bye-bye. Creep.
It's too much.